How to be a point center in basketball. Of course, everyone loves Nikola Jokic, so let's see if he can make another MVP, but also how you can play as a point guard center in the NBA. Anyways, really quickly, if you want to be able to jump higher and, of course, maybe dunk a basketball, make sure to go check out my vertical jump training book that is down in the description below. Okay, so in this first clip, we had a screen by Jokic, and Jamal Murray used that screen. Jokic is now rolling to the basket, and I really just got to point out just how well of a screen and roll man he is. Because so many people, even in the NBA, especially in the NBA, the kids learn it from the NBA, but basically when you use a screen and roll, you roll the way of the guy who's dribbling. The reason why this is so important is because if you roll the opposite way, you're going to lose eye contact and visuals of the guy passing you the ball. So by the time you roll to the basket, guess what? He may have passed you the ball, you didn't see it, and now you have a turnover. So roll the way of the guy who is using you as a screen. He didn't have that option. He didn't have that option to be able to shoot, so he was able to pass back to Jokic, who was then able to pass the ball to the cutter. We see this right here. As soon as he receives that ball from Jamal Murray cuts to the basket, which is extremely important because as soon as you pass, especially to a player like Jokic, you need to drive and cut to the basket. Jamal Murray does this, and Jokic is able to get his body low enough to make a bounce pass underneath the outstretched arm of the defender so that he's able to get it to Jamal Murray, who can then finish with a one-hand reverse layup. Okay, so I'm really not going to lie. I used this exact same 5-out play with my team, and I got it from, guess who? The Denver Nuggets. So, point guard, Jokic, he gets the ball up top. He passes the ball to the corner. With my team, I do pass to the wing, then to the corner. But either way, it doesn't matter. He cuts to the rim because after you pass, you've got to cut. He cuts down to the low post. And then after he finishes cutting, he posts his man up because of who he is. And I usually have my star player there as well so that I get the exact same double team coming from the opposite side post or help side. And what I mean by this is, in my play, we run it a bit differently. And what we do is a weak side cut first and then a strong side cut. Both fill out to the far side of the court, but this doesn't just mean this guy just stands here. He could also cut back door, and that's exactly what this guy is essentially doing if we were to run my play. This is just a slight variation of my play, or my play is a slight variation of this exact same play. Either way, Jokic is able to receive that ball back into the low post, and he passes over to that far side post. Why is this so important? Well, as a point guard, you've got to be the leader on the court who's handling the ball. However, guess what? You can be still a very good ball handler in the low post and have your head up and make some fantastic passes. And that's what Jokic is to the Denver Nuggets. And then what we can see is this play was an alley-oop for that weak side. Okay, so now we've got to see Jokic drive right to the basket. And when he's attacking this basket, it's absolutely fantastic. He literally beats two guys who are trying to reach in plus his own man. And how he's able to do this is quite easy. When he attacks, he's making body contact the entire time. Watch his off arm. It's working. And then he throws his whole body while the ball is up high at the defender, which moves that defender out of the way because he's running alongside you. We have to remember that when we're attacking the rim, guess what? This defender is also moving. If you make contact with a moving defender, as long as you're not blatantly trying to hit him out of the way, it's a foul on him. So just by simply attacking a man, trying to make as much contact as you can with that guy, especially if they're in that half circle, that's a foul. And guess what? That's a fantastic and one that Jokic just basically got. Here's Jokic once again up top. He's now doing a dribble handoff with Murray. Now, again, watch how he rolls in this situation. Even though he cheated on this screen and he rolled the opposite way that I just recently said that he should have, watch what he does. When he gets this handoff, or makes that handoff, he turns his head as soon as the contact is made. He's already turning his head. He's not looking at the basket at first and then looking for the pass. He's looking for the pass right away. So if you do make a mistake and you cheat on your screen, guess what? Just look as fast as you can to the guy who has the ball and get your hands up if possible. Here, his hands were... This is absolutely fantastic because guess what? His hands are up. They're ready. Look, his right hand is roughly at his chest. They're ready for this pass. Guess what? He's already scanning the court because he's receiving the ball. If you are receiving the ball as a postman, you have to be scanning the court to see where your players are. And he's able to see that right here with a touch pass over to the opposite post, who's then able to go up and finish at the rim. Well, at least hopefully finish if it wasn't for Jokic, who was able to actually finish it for him. Now they're running what, if I was to show this to one of my players, they would call this a play, because we run, again, this same exact play. And basically, we have an entry pass into the post. After we make that entry pass into the post, guess what? Normally, my guy would be cutting. This guy cuts away from the ball. This is a dribble handoff, or at least could be a dribble handoff here, but at this time isn't. Jokic then attacks his man, spins off, gets both hands on the ball. The ball's a bit lower than I would personally recommend. I would actually have it roughly chest high at this point, because you're going to have players like this who are trying to reach in on you. And because that tends to happen a lot, you can actually see Jokic's elbows come up right at the end to clear out space. This is what I call clearing out space. If anybody makes contact with these elbows, good luck trying to have that dental appointment. And elbow out turns into an elbow seal, which allows him to get this baby hook right in. So what have we learned in this play? As a point center, we need to learn how to run the point. And that's not necessarily going to be the most easiest thing. However, if you're going up against a center in your own position, guess what? You're going to potentially be able to beat him with these tips. Next is you've got to be always looking to pass. A point center is not just somebody who is going to be dribbling the ball up the court. This is going to be a guy who's going to be in the low post, maybe the high post or the dunker spot, having to pass that ball out and having the vision to be able to do that. Being able to scan the court before he even receives the pass. These tips are going to help you become a better point center. Make sure to go check out my hardest basketball shooting workout and my vertical jump training book. That is down in the description below. But also, if you're a coach or you liked this app that I'm using, it's called CoachLens, and you can get that 10% off code that is down in the description below.